We got to try the new one.
Wow. Try the new one. You know what we are trying? We are trying. This is my birthday.
This is your birthday.
It's my birthday. Paul, you're not celebrating my birthday, but you know what? That's okay. I saved it.
You're
for
an
you.
ass.
What are you talking about? Your birthday?
Oh yeah. Well, this is my birthday.
Birthday bourbon.
Oh, it's my birthday bourbon.
Okay, the 4-gate.
Yeah, the 4-gate. It is. We didn't bring the bottle in.
We didn't.
That's
Austin,
all right.
Did you grab it?
That's all right. It's the 4-gate.
It's the 4-gate blue bottle.
Right.
And it is a rye blue gate, and it is a tremendous tasting.
Is this the one that your wife ponied up big time? Like came through?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you need to redirect your microphone.
Oh, what was I sounding like?
Like a girl.
I sounded like a girl.
Yes.
You had a lisp.
Oh, imagine that.
No, like a TikTok person that for Jeff sent earlier.
No. That I don't have.
So scroll down. These are all the different 4-gates. Is that what that is? And they're all MGP. Do you know that? I don't know if they're all, but they're all blends. They don't distill their own shit.
I find that amazing. How much of almost like an aftermarket bourbon business there is.
How can they charge that much for a blend?
They can. They don't distill their own stuff. They buy their own distill. They buy their distillate.
It's been aged for 7 years, and it's potent. And you know what? Look, here's the bottom line. It tastes very good.
It does.
Wow, that's really
Very
good.
nice.
Bottom line.
There's probably the part of the business where they're a master distiller. I mean, they're not master distillers, but they're master blenders.
There are. Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And that part of the business is probably just as big.
God.
Right?
Johnny Walker.
Yeah. Man, someone sent this fucking text message. What is it, off of TikTok? It's Libs of TikTok. A biological male who went viral this year for attempting to join a sorority is now learning from Dylan Mulvaney and creating TikToks making a mockery of women. Listen to this.
It's painful.
Let's see here. Oh, I turned it down. Hold on. I was anticipating. What is it called? The
Feedback.
podcast.
Which one is this? Is this the period?
Yeah, the one that makes you sick.
menstruation makes fun of the women.
Yeah.
Day 12 of being a girl, and we're going to go buy tampons. Well, let's go.
Healthy.
What the?
I don't know. Which one should I get? At the Tampax Pearl,
If I were a woman, I'd be
these
pissed.
are like little dots to see how much you flow, is what somebody said online. I don't know. Let's do an unboxing. It literally has instructions. Okay, this is a tampon. This thing does not go up inside you. Like, where does that go? Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, so it says you push the plunger.
It's embarrassing.
And,
Yeah,
It is.
and why are we giving this guy any
Okay,
airtime?
That just hangs out
That's what
inside
I'm
you?
asking.
Well, it's a dudes like us thing where,
Where's he going to stick it?
Oh, it comes open.
yeah.
Well,
So
I think what it is, a lot of people won't see this. They're
Where
not
does the string
aware
go?
that
I
these
bought tampons
yahoos
because
are
I've
out
never
there.
bought them before.
Thank God.
If you need one.
Right? No one needs to see that.
It's scary that there is those kind of people out there, though.
but here's the thing: he's mentally fucked up. I mean, why would a male? I mean, it's obvious that this is all premeditated, and he just is going out there to fuck with stuff.
He's trying to get clicks.
But I mean, really, think about it. Why would a guy go out to? I mean, he doesn't have a vagina. Okay,
He's got a pee hole.
He's got a dick
Got a dick hole
and an asshole.
in that.
Yeah, he's
Well, I
all,
was saying, where's he going to stick it?
he's all
Yeah.
about attention, right? This is
Yeah.
this is the
He's
guy
a-
that tried to go to a sorority and didn't get picked.
But here's the thing:
It was all publicity.
if you
Just a
put
stunt.
if you put that thing in your asshole,
You probably get
and
stuck.
well, that's what I'm saying. It'd be like the worst case scenario because that thing would the thing would create a flume of
Flume.
of
Like a log flume at
Yeah,
Six Flags.
no, like a flume of oil in a sea. It's just I'm just saying that
It would absorb.
Yeah, the absorbency sponge thing would just inflate to where it creates this huge clot, and it would make the world's worst butt plug ever because it would be
All dry.
Oh, dude, I mean, it'd be horrible.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you want to add?
you would get any beaver
Well,
gland
I would
juice
just
in
be
there.
worried it would dislodge all those other things that you were talking about, right? The jacks and the little
yeah.
Matchbox cars.
All the
and-
things you eat as a kid, you know.
Yeah.
The
The things that come.
With the points and all the
Yeah, the little-
edges.
The thing that comes out in the colonoscopy.
silly
or whatever.
putty.
God.
And here we go. We opened another podcast with some sort of anal reference.
Well, you said you wanted to debride your ass taint.
Well, here's the thing, man.
never
People
said that.
don't get it when you start fucking with
We have
things
a
like
text.
that. You know, it's toxic, and you know, people could do things, and when you get that toxicity that gets in your body, you know, you're just asking for problems. I mean, you may not get it right away. I mean, but
I obviously I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but you're saying he was advocating shoving that up his butthole?
well, I'm not saying so much that, but what if someone watched it? What if a young gay dude was like, oh, maybe this is what you're supposed to do, and he shoves that thing up his ass, and then 15 years from now, he gets cancer because of some weird shit going on in his body. I mean, look, you get sick from all kinds of things, and you never know what from. And it can hit you at any time, and it could be something stupid. It could be something genetic, you know. It could be, I mean, in your DNA. Yeah, I mean, I mean, but that's that. Is that genetic?
I think it's irresponsible.
That's irresponsible, you know. But there are some folks out there that don't have that. There are some folks that, you know, dudes like us out there that, you know, life hands them a deck of cards, and they're kind of like, here you go.
But
Yeah,
just like
they-
you say, if somebody's listening to them, young and impressionable, and they take it on themselves, and then all of a sudden you have a medical emergency about some stupid crap that somebody saw on a TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, how many TikTok challenges have come?
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, the
Like
pod,
trying to-
the pod,
And
Tide
the Tide
Pods.
Pods and
Oh God.
Then you
trying
have
to
the
remove the
cinnamon.
light bulbs out of your ass.
I mean,
Whoa.
I think I
What have you been doing, Sean?
No, well, dude, seriously, there are people that have showed up with a light bulb in their ass, and they're kind of like, I mean, that's real.
Oh, there. People in an emergency room would tell you there's all sorts of stuff
Oh,
that
yeah.
they,
All
they have
kinds
to
of stuff.
that they have to pull out of people's butts.
Yeah, I mean, God.
I would say most of the time they accidentally get stuck up there. Maybe I don't
Well,
know.
it needs to be
The
tapered.
rodents.
Yeah, how did
Yeah.
you get this remote control up here? I don't
Yeah.
get it.
I sat on it and
Yeah, just reverse osmosis.
Yeah, that's no time to have any kind of ego or anything. You just go and you go, this happened, get it out.
yeah.
You don't want to let it
Ima-
fester.
Imagine that. Like,
No.
yeah,
You would just have to go, all right, fuck it. I'm going
yeah,
to get it fixed.
I put this up my butt
Yeah.
and I can't get it out.
And
I will never come back
and
to
I
this
don't know if you've
emergency
ever
room.
had a suppository before, but you've had the suppositories, right?
No,
Well, I mean, I get a little hemorrhoid every now and then, and thanks to Paul,
Weekly.
who said, "Hey, man, why don't you just do a suppository and it'll be done? Get some preparation, bam, done." And you know what? I'm like, I did it, and guess what happened?
What position did you get in?
I don't remember telling you
Supine.
this. Supine. Oh, supine. Very nice.
I was laying supine, and
You weren't in deep strike
I was
position?
I got my pillow out, and I was got my leg hiked up over my shoulder. And no, but when you stick that suppository in there, it's difficult to shove in there at first, and then all of a sudden you get past a certain point, and then there's like your body's kind of like,
Sucks it in.
hey, welcome in you. How you doing? Hey, what's your name?
There it is. Yeah.
It's like the bank thing that you put in the little thing and it goes up the
Like
tube.
a vacuum.
If you get it up there far enough, it goes.
Yeah, there's some dude in there that's
So
like,
Sean like three knuckled it to get it in there.
3 knuckles. God damn,
What,
dude.
so what are you saying? It worked or didn't work? Or
No, what I'm saying is that first of all, all right, look, if we're gonna talk about this,
Yeah,
I wanna talk about it.
you
All right,
opened it
so,
up.
All right, so look, I first of all, I never had done one in my life, so I have no idea what this is, and I'm sure the fuck not going to ask anybody. So the first one, I tried to shove a suppository up my ass, and I didn't know how to do it, so I push in there, and it's like I think it's in there because my finger is. Right
touching
on my
your
butt.
butthole.
And
Right.
I'm like, well, I'm not going to put my finger in my butt, so I'm just going to push it up there. And I take my finger away, and my butt's like, it spits it right out.
Yeah, it just
and
keeps
it's like right
falling
in the
out.
toilet. And I'm like, well, fuck. Now I got to get another one. What the fuck, man? And so
You
now,
never had none of this as a child.
no, I didn't know this, man. I mean, I don't.
Well,
So,
maybe,
you know,
maybe you shouldn't have been hovering over the toilet. You could have
You could have reused it.
retrieved it. Yeah, wash it off and try it again.
oh, I can't believe this. But anyways,
Did you have,
know
a,
what?
did you have a finger condom on?
I did not have a finger condom, but I had the hot
You
water
had
running
poop-
in the
poop-
sink.
You could have used a sandwich bag or
So you had
something.
poopy nails.
No. I have a very clean bum because I use wet wipes.
Oh.
So you clean the inside.
Oh,
Yeah, what
I
about the
shoved that
inside?
thing up there. Oh, it's like a fucking glass brush. It's just
Okay. Anyway, at some point it got sucked up in there, and then what happened?
God.
Well, you know what? And then and
Did your
then I
hemorrhoid
had
go
no
away?
more discomfort. And it's not so much that
It did go away. So what,
Oh,
what I
dude, yeah.
suggested actually worked.
yeah.
Oh,
man.
oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
what
I
I'm
was.
getting at.
I thought I was to blame for
The
something.
problem is that I had it for like almost a year.
You're like, damn it, I could have done this a
All
year
you
ago.
had to
Yeah,
do.
and it wasn't like it was painful or anything. It was just kind of like, I
You had
mean,
this thing
always
dangling.
Just
yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, my brother, my brother actually doesn't want to talk about this. My brother has real bad hemorrhoids, and his are kind of like, it's my hemorrhoids are like two squirrels in a bag fighting.
Like
they're just
broccoli?
fucking huge. It's like when he takes a dump, it's kind of like Play-Doh shooting through one of those little form shapers, and just push it down. It processes.
God.
I'm like, thanks for the visual,
Jeez.
but
Yeah, and thank
mine
you.
aren't like that. Mine
the
are
visual.
are small and manageable, thank God. But there are people that have super bad hemorrhoids where they have to have surgery, and
Right.
my
Ugh.
wife had that surgery, and it's extremely painful.
Oh yeah.
And the recovery is extremely painful.
You can never get
and
comfortable.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, I dealt with a little bit of it, got a little snapshot of it, and I'm good. And you're.
You took a picture of it?
I did. What do you mean?
You should have snapshot.
Of
well,
my
you put the
butthole?
the whole
Yeah.
thing on TikTok, didn't you?
No, I
Your
didn't do
son
anything
takes
on
pictures of his
TikTok.
butthole.
Oh God,
Oh.
don't get to.
Wow.
He's not talking about our producer.
No. Your other son.
The other
God, I
one.
hope not.
Sends it to his friends.
Oh, jeez, he does, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
This is a
Boy, y'all are going deep with this one.
yeah. This is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is another form of junk pics, huh?
Well,
Yes.
anyways, that was an attempt to hit a segue there. I was eventually trying to get to, but
Yes.
anyway, so this guy's on TikTok and he's shooting that thing up his butt, and he's and people are going to do that. They're going to get sick, and and I was also sharing that it leads to some people becoming unhealthy and cancerous, and and there's a lot of people out there that have the disfortune of or unfortunate that get that.
And they're doing extra stuff to make it happen.
Well, whatever. It's just part
Idiocracy.
of it. So I was.
Which goes way deep, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was trying to lead you to the pasture, but there are some people. Scott, you had mentioned something about you going through a phase in your life where not you were shoving shit up your ass, but God had dealt
Well, he hasn't denied that, but
go on.
No, it was actually the problem was coming out. But no, actually, I had went to California and done some work out in California. They delivered a bunch of materials. I picked up all these materials, which I shouldn't have picked up. They were way too heavy. And I carried them upstairs, put them in an apartment. It was about to rain. Nobody was on site. The next morning, woke up with a huge knot on my neck. So I had a huge
By
knot.
picking up the materials.
Yeah, and I thought it was a pulled muscle. I'm like, I don't give a crap. My girlfriend at the time goes, you need to go to the doctor. I'm like, I don't care. I'm fine. It's a pulled muscle. So they brought in the guy I was watching the job for. He came back, and I went home. I landed on a Thursday evening. I landed. She picked me up, drove me to the hospital, and I was pissed. I was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah, you're wasting my time.
Yeah, it's a pulled muscle. Leave me the hell alone. Drove me to the hospital. They took me in there, and they went in there and just started stabbing me with needles and stuff, going, we're going to check this out because it could be this, could be that. Check me out. And they said, okay, now go home. We'll call you later on tomorrow, something with the results of what we find.
Right.
So I go home, drive up in the driveway, and get a phone call from the hospital. It says, get back to the hospital right now. There's 3 doctors in a bed waiting for you in the emergency drive-through.
Oh my God.
And we're like, what the hell are you talking about? And they're like, no, Don't stop. Don't do anything. I don't care. Get in your car. Get back to the hospital. We drive back to the hospital. Pull up there. There's 3 doctors and a bed sitting there, which how often has that ever happened? You know, I mean, you're going in now. So they put me on the bed, rolled me in there, start stabbing me with needles. I'm like going, okay, whoa.
Yeah, tell me something first.
What the hell is going on here? And they said, well, we're going to tell you something. You have thyroid cancer. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to die? They're like, well, that's not going to kill you. The 2 PEs in your lungs, pulmonary embolisms, and both of your lungs are completely clogged up and going to your brain. It's Thursday. You're not going to live through the weekend. So they started stabbing me and putting blood thinners and all that. And then basically, I'm the only person you'll ever hear say, cancer saved my life. If they wouldn't have seen that cancer, the 2 PEs, I would have died that weekend. This was the Thursday. They said you wouldn't live through the weekend because of the pulmonary embolisms in your lungs.
And how did you get those?
Blood clot behind my knee. Traveling so much on airplanes, and my knees were always, clogged up.
Yeah, that's a thing. If you travel a lot, you have to make sure you get up and walk.
Get up and walk around and move around all the time.
Yeah.
We're on the plane?
Yeah.
It's called deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jesus.
So I had a huge blood clot behind my left knee that had gone in both of my lungs. And they said, well, there's so many things. Did you feel, were you worn out? Were you tired and all that? I'm like,
Lightheaded.
I'm working 17 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to get this project back on course. Yeah, I was tired.
Right.
But it wasn't anything abnormal. So there wasn't any really symptoms or anything that I felt coming on just because I was working so hard. Yeah, I was tired.
Yeah, and you were just kind of fighting through it, like
it was just
pushing through it.
Going through the motions. And
Wow.
they say this huge knot came up, turned out to be thyroid cancer, which they said, and they went into there to remove that. After they fixed my blood and all that and got me back on, they took me in and we did the thyroid cancer, and they removed 55 lymph nodes from one side and 48 lymph nodes from the other side.
Good Lord.
And I've now had 7 cancer surgeries. Clear.
Nice.
Done.
And this is all. How long ago was all this?
It started 2014. My last surgeries were 2019.
So this is all fairly fresh.
Yeah. Or 2021. 2021 were the last 2 that I had.
Wow.
So what they do for the PEs? Did they just give blood thinners? Is that what fixed it?
Yeah,
Or?
and that was the problem. Is me growing up, as my whole family are doctors and pharmacists,
Yeah.
and needles and all that stuff. When I was 9, and this is another part of my life that's kind of weird. When I was 9, I got hit by a car. I died 3 times. I was in ICU for 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
They told my parents every day he's going to die or be a vegetable.
Right.
They said he'll never be a normal person. When I finally came out of it, they said, well, he'll never be able to walk or run right. So I started running, walking, started doing all my stuff. Oh, he'll never be able to play sports or really be able to run. I played football. I did everything in the world. I beat all the odds.
Right.
So I had already beat the odds. And
yeah, you already checked that box.
Yeah. God saved me one time and brought me back. And then this time, actually, the funny thing was, too, when I had cancer, well, not funny, but they had tried to put a voice box on me when they were putting a trach.
Yeah.
Right.
A trach in me. They were going to put a voice box on me. The guy put it on backwards and killed me. And I went out. I was out for about 3.5 minutes before they could bring me back. When I was in surgery, because I wanted to do both sides of my throat at the same time, it collapsed. And I actually coded twice. So in my life, between both of those, I have basically died 6 times.
Wow.
So I have basically said that I am the gato. So I am the cat with
So
nine
in
lives.
any of those situations, that they always talk about, I saw myself. I was up in the ceiling and I saw myself. And did you have any of those?
I had the funniest thing in the world was all I could see was I walked around the walls. I would walk over and around the ceiling and around the walls on the floor. I would sit here and do this when I was out. I could see myself walking around the walls.
And that happened more than once?
Oh, the 2 times that I coded in the hospital.
Oh wow.
during my cancer surgeries. I saw that.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
Like
But
sometimes,
no, when I was a kid,
yeah,
I don't.
people will say that they were up in the corner of the room and they saw the people working on them and all that kind of stuff. Like an after, what do you call it? An after body out of body experience.
Out
Out
of
of
body
Yeah.
experience, right?
Yeah.
And I never had that. I actually woke up and my brother was sitting next to me, and like I say, I'd been down. They said he's a vegetable. He's never gonna come out of this.
Yeah.
And my brother is sitting next to me with a bunch of little Star Wars toys and little motorcycles that everybody had brought and put around me and flowers and all that. He started playing. And I woke up and I went, I got to get up and go to school. And scared him to death. And he jumped up and ran out of the room and told everybody, he's awake. Y'all need to come in here.
And he's acting
awake
normal.
and he's talking.
Yeah.
And I tried to get up and fell on the floor because I hadn't walked or moved in 6 weeks. Everything my whole body was asleep. So I tried to get up and fell on the floor, and they had to come in there and pick me up, put me back in the bed.
Oh.
I'm like, I got to go to school. I got to go to school.
And you were just like running across the street or on a bike or?
I was on a bike going to my dad's pharmacy, and a guy came across kind of a hill in Lubbock. Lubbock, Texas, came across like a little hill jump on a red light, doing 75 miles an hour in his black Trans Am.
Oh, no.
And hit me doing 7.
With the T-tops with the eagle on the hood?
That was the one. Hit me doing 72 miles an hour.
Oh,
Did he just keep moving?
No, he stopped. But then the whole court thing was that his dad was had more money than they knew what to do with. So they were like, we're going to pay this off to make it go away.
Nice. You like when that
So,
happens.
he'd done it twice before. I was the worst case that he'd done.
Hit other people?
He had hit 2 other kids before me.
Oh, okay, come on.
I know. But this was back.
Back when they didn't care, I
70,
guess.
whatever it was. 70. I don't want to give away my age. I'm sorry. It was like 2004.
Right.
Wow.
No, we're all that old.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a near-death experience. I have
not.
I'm pretty
I've
sure
had
I
a
would
near-death
remember that,
experience.
right? You had
Yours
what?
was with alcohol, though.
No. Mine. Well, no, but I had a near-death experience. I was living in Colorado, and I had snuck out our house. I was 13, 14, maybe.
Doing drugs and listening to rock and roll.
Doesn't matter. When I was sneaking back in, I took the screen off my window, opened it, and there's a curtain there. And the curtain moves. And a 9mm gun
Wow.
comes from around the curtain and in my face.
Your father
My dad.
was about to shoot you.
He's about to wrap things up.
How awful would that have been?
We were like, hold on.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Now,
remember
was
exactly what I
he
said.
shaken? Was he like, didn't know it was you, or was he like basically scaring the shit out of you?
It could have been. I don't know. Frankly, I don't really remember. I do remember that part.
You
It
blacked
scared
out.
it scared the shit out of him. is
Oh,
what it did.
dude, yeah.
I'm wondering if it would scare the shit out of him.
Dude, he, who knows? My dad's like that. I mean, he sleeps with the gun next to his bed.
Wow.
Don't we all?
Don't we all nowadays?
Oh yeah, mine's. I mean, you got to get to it through the biometric thing.
You got your AK just like right there on your
Oh
bed.
yeah. Oh yeah. I've got the Gatling gun.
Snuggle on
My
it.
dad's
I got
different.
the Gatling gun at the foot of the bed.
I got my 50 cal that just
My dad's different. He's,
point the door.
he literally has a gun either under his pillow or right under the mattress.
Well, my dad has a holster hanging on the side of his bed with his gun in it.
Nice.
Yeah, he's ready to go. My dad has tons of guns. All right, but he has even more. Maybe not as much as Jeff's.
Like other stuff.
Obviously, I mean, I think that it's pretty comparative. I mean, the amount of bullets that he sent, but my dad is like, I mean, Austin, have you seen it? One of the kids I went into, they were rummaging through my parents, one of my dad's dressers, and he had a drawer just filled with clips.
Yeah.
Like loaded.
Yeah.
Ready
Like
to go.
loaded clips.
What the fuck, man?
Wow.
You got to be ready.
Because he's ready for the war.
Yeah, maybe
He's
it's
ready
that,
for the
it's that
invasion.
age. He's always been. I have no idea, but you
I
know
know-
what? Life is. You
Yeah,
talk about the life. Having life right in front of you. I was scared shitless.
Oh yeah.
bet.
Oh,
for sure.
man.
I was kind of like, I'm gonna die. right now because my dad doesn't know it's me, and he thinks it's some fucking pooter coming in. And I was like, Dad, it's me. And I just, that was about it. I don't remember what happened afterward.
You blacked out after that?
I blacked out because I don't remember anything because I was.
That stuff
cleaned your
happens
underwear?
all the time, guys.
Yeah, people.
I mean, then you hear stories of a guy that was coming home and he was so drunk that he went to the wrong house.
Right.
Well, that happened. Well, she wasn't drunk, but that
and-
police officer down in Dallas,
Yep.
she wasn't drunk.
I mean, this teenager got up on the roof and I tried to crawl through the window, blam, and it wasn't his house.
Well, that was like that guy, the Tyson Chickens CFO that just did that. Got so drunk he went to that girl's house and just went to sleep. She came home and went, "There's some dude in my bed." And they come in there to find out that it was the Tyson's grandson that was asleep in his bed. The CFO of Tyson.
Just drunk.
But he didn't get shot.
No. They just pulled him out of the bed and took him to jail. But, I mean...
What do you
shit happens,
Yeah, what do you get charged with on that one? I guess trespassing?
Trespassing, maybe.
Yeah.
Breaking and
Well, I don't
entering.
know.
Being
Maybe she
stupid
didn't-
drunk?
Maybe she didn't, have, what is it called? Do charges against him. Maybe she just dropped him.
Man,
I mean, because when it's something like that, I mean, shit happens. I mean, shit does happen sometimes. You're kind of like, I got fucked up. I mean, I've been fucked up. Or
So
I'm
if
kinda
someone,
like,
if you woke up and someone was in your bed,
well, hold on. That's what happened? She
Yes.
woke up and some dude was in her bed?
But she came home, right?
She came home at 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and
there's-
this guy was asleep in her bed.
Yeah,
Right.
well, that's a little bit different. Kind of, I mean, the initial shock, take that motherfucker out. But when it gets to court, when you get time to process the whole thing and
The
you
guy is
understand what
sobered
really
up.
happened,
right?
you're like, you know what? I get it. It was stupid, but it wasn't malicious.
No.
You know,
I'm
so,
amazed that you didn't follow up with, well, is she hot?
Was he nude?
I did say she.
He was, and that's the funny thing. He was in his underwear, and they kept telling him to get up and put on clothes. And he was like, "No, I'm good. And he'd go back to sleep.
Oh,
That's pretty
God.
drunk. That's
Yeah.
pretty drunk.
I mean,
I don't know
if
if I've ever been
people
that
when
drunk.
you're drunk, I mean, I don't. Man, I tell you, I the last time. I mean, I've been drunk. You guys know that, but I
Really?
haven't been slobbering drunk since my first son was born. I made an oath to myself that I would never get that drunk again. When because Tara had called me and I was out with one of my gigs as a disc jockey, and I was loaded, and she was about to give birth. She didn't. Something was going on. I think the amniotic fluid was low or something like that, and so she had to go to the hospital. And I remember showing up and I was fucked up.
Oh no.
And
That's not a good scene.
well, I handled it well. I mean, I
Yeah.
wasn't obnoxious. It was like 2:30, 3:00 in the morning, so there wasn't a lot of people around.
Right.
But it happened. I know it happened.
Right.
It doesn't matter what anybody else
Oh, I got
knows.
you.
I
got
know
you.
it happened, and the fact that I recognized it, and I was like, "That's it. That's never happening again."
Right.
And I made a decision that day, and I've never ever got drunk again. Now I get seasoned. I get, but I never get to that point anymore. I always draw the line, even at some of my parties. I'm trying to think. I don't recall the last time I got fucked up.
It was last weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, seriously. Have you guys
Halloween.
ever seen me
Man,
fucked
hold on.
up?
If I look at my records, there's 182 times that you
No.
crossed the line.
Seriously, have you ever seen me fucked up?
Oh, I don't know if there's different levels, but
There's
yeah,
different
we've seen
levels.
you.
Yeah.
We've
But I
seen
mean,
you.
there's nothing. You've never seen me fucked up to the point where I'm incoherent, right?
No.
I mean, I'm always.
Well, hold on, Sean.
Well-
Give us a minute. Give us a minute. All right, Jeff, what do you think?
You get the slurring pretty good.
Hold on. There was the time we went to go see that movie.
Oh.
That was
Midway?
about Midway.
Evan Williams
that
wanna-
wasn't getting drunk. That was getting poisoned by Jeff. If
You did
you're-
that to yourself.
No,
Yeah.
if that was you didn't realize what you were inhaling or consuming, then you can't count that as.
Well, that was
That
probably
one-
one of your first experiences with a higher proof bourbon.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
That's what that was.
good
That
stuff,
was
man.
awful. That was
All right,
awful.
well, I got to be honest. We were fucked up then. I don't feel comfortable about that fucked up because even after we did that, we acted like jackasses to go see the movie Midway, where Paul stands up in the middle of the
I
movie
did not.
and is,
I did
"Hi,
not.
Hitler!"
Okay.
High stepping back and forth.
Yeah, Zwei, drei, vier, fünf.
Okay. First off, that was the Japanese, not the Germans. But
You were
anyway,
confused.
No, I remember, being excited that we like took out something. I was like, "Yeah, go get them!" And then I fell back asleep.
Yeah, fuck you.
I didn't say that. There were children in the damn
No, there
theater.
was no
You didn't
children
care.
in there, and you were like, "I'll have another glass of ice." So,
Yeah, get a bunch of bladder.
And we just reeked like a distillery, I'm
Oh
sure.
God, it was
Just
awful.
bourbon.
yeah, but I'll tell you one thing I did.
Because you
notice
spilled
that
it all over
you
yourself.
show up,
I
and
did.
because you order one of these optical
He would
closed
like,
caption
I think he would
devices.
it was 3D is what it was.
Yeah, well,
No.
He
I
gets,
have
because
whatever.
he's hearing. I don't want to say you're hearing impaired, but I mean,
I am hearing impaired.
all right, well, there you go. He's hearing impaired.
I wear hearing aids, and when I go to movie theaters, I put in the little closed caption device that fits in the little cup holder.
Yeah,
It's a little box, and it basically is.
I was fascinated
you
by
position
that.
it. It's got the little snake, the
Oh,
little
yeah,
snake
that's it,
thing,
yeah.
and you kind of move it around, and you put it right underneath the screen,
and you can
and then
you see what
and
they're
then
saying.
I'm sitting here, yeah.
It
I
was
think
fascinating to see that.
Sean was jealous he got one too. He gets those
Did he really?
every time he goes to movie.
Oh,
night,
now he does.
Every time.
You didn't do it, did you? Did you really?
Every time.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, well, I do
you-
it because you know what?
you
There
would
are
be-
times you don't understand what they're saying. Even when you can hear it, you're like,
You would be amazed how
there's
much
so
you
much
miss.
you don't get.
You'd be amazed how much you miss. And there's even stuff you miss that isn't even on the screen. Like
Oh.
there's words being said, and I'm like, where's that coming from? I never you know what I mean?
Guy yells at the background, kind of thing, you know.
No, like
sexy music,
no,
Oh.
like just like
heavy
Like-
breathing.
what do you call it? Like not lyrics, but lines. Lines are said off
Oh.
screen. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, you hear those.
Yeah, so anyway,
they
we went to
were
go see
almost
Midway,
not audible.
and that's about probably. I mean, outside of that little moment right there, because we were really hammered. I mean, I was so hammered that I went home and left my phone at Kelly's Tavern.
That's when Paul almost got us thrown out.
I was going to say we
Oh,
went to
yeah,
Kelly,
you were
we went to
thrown
Kelly's
out.
Tavern.
And the bartender was kind of, hey, your deaf friend over here is. Oh, he didn't know you were.
See, I
hearing
could have
impaired
played
at
that
the time,
card.
but you did.
I
Well, see, now you get to know what we have to deal with all the time. He doesn't know he's that loud. You should hear him when he comes.
Oh,
I've never heard that.
that's a flag.
I've never heard that.
That's disgusting.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy us all like red cards or like flags and
Yeah,
throw at
big
each other.
time. We need a flag.
Well, that's like us going to a bar and I get basically kicked out of the bar because I drank too much in the period of time that I wasn't drunk at all.
Over 9 hours.
Over 10 hours and having 8 drinks and you're cut off.
Well, see, there's a couple things to ask there. Why are you at a bar for 10 hours?
We were having an event
Right.
that took that long to do.
Right.
And so during the entire event, about every hour I would have a drink.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I mean, it was a margarita that had no alcohol really in it whatsoever.
and that would be the pace that I would expect, right?
You know, 1 drink an hour, and then after 8, they're like, "You're cut off." It's like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm cut off. I've had 1 drink over 9 hours. I had 8 drinks, and you're cut off.
Yeah, that was. I mean, and also it was very loud and boisterous. Apparently, right? The person.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it wasn't like-
the manager. Was
It wasn't like
just
pull you aside and
no,
be like,
no.
"Hey,
the
man."
manager announced it to the entire bar
See,
that I
yeah,
was I was the worst person in the entire world.
Yeah,
I
you know what?
think.
That was
That's the part that.
that was no couth to that at all. I mean, we were we were in a professional outing.
Very
and,
professional.
And you were not acting out of line at all.
Absolutely not.
It was. We were just all sitting there, just having fun and just talking. It's like everyone's in there, right? You know, and I mean, granted, I didn't have like 15 drinks like he did, but I mean, I still
Only 8 apparently. yes.
eight apparently. But you know what the thing is that we were there for a long time, and it's like drink. I mean, come on, really?
Well, they even say, I mean, even your alcohol blood level, even when you're driving, they said 1 drink an hour, you're fine. You'll
Yeah.
stay within that 0.8, which I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. 0.8 is not drunk unless you are a 19-year-old, 80-pound little girl that just
Right.
started drinking. 0.8 now, okay, baby,
That's
she's
very
drunk,
sexist.
but or anybody that's new to drinking, if you've been drinking a while and you're a little seasoned and you have, you know, a little weight on you or something too, 0.8, you're not drunk.
What are you
Right.
saying?
Were you saying we're
What,
fat?
what are you getting at?
No.
Yeah, that means you guys could have like 40 drinks and you'd be fine.
Oh,
I just said if you weren't
Gallons.
80 pounds with We're not 80
Tony
pounds
Keg.
because I have to be 6'3". So
Yeah, that was a pretty shitty move on the manager's part. But did he
He
Yeah,
could
say?
have
it
handled
was.
that better. If that was his rule, he could have come up to you individually and said, "Hey, unfortunately, you've reached our max."
You know,
Even though you've been here,
Right.
there
9
are
hours.
so many different things that they could have done. I mean, that is more tactful than that.
That's what I mean. He
They
could have
could
come
have
up
pulled up a
privately.
friend. They could have pulled up a colleague and said, "Hey, man, this is deal. We don't know who's in charge here." You know, or he could have given the table, "Hey, who's in charge here?" and just had a sidebar with them.
That's what I mean.
You know, just hey, man, this is what's going
Well,
on.
what if he just said, "Hey, if you put your pants back on, you can stay."
Right.
You know?
but that was, that was the biggest problem about it all, though, that I was
Trying to find your boots.
probably the most sober person in the place because I was drinking margaritas that had no alcohol. Everybody else is drinking
Right.
straight liquor,
Yeah, we
and
were.
they'd had 7 or 8,
Yeah, we were
a
pounding them.
piece.
And you had this overwhelming feeling of it's just unfair.
I was just like going, I haven't drank
You know,
anything.
You know what's funny is the first time we went out. Do you recall how much that tab was?
I do. I paid for half of it, and had to explain half of it.
All right. Well,
oh boy.
and and we had less than half the amount of people. We had a third of the amount of people at the
Correct,
first one
yeah.
than the second one, and the final bill for the second one was a fraction of the first one. It just
Correct. Well, I paid the first bill on the second one also, and it was $150. Our bill at the other one went over 4 digits.
Oh my God! I thought this was a company thing. The
Oh, it
company
was.
didn't pay for it.
No, the company paid for it, but and that was the cool thing too. Is because we called in and explained what happened, and our director, our boss, was like going, "Don't worry about it.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Don't worry about it. It's fine." If we've done stuff like that before, where we had clients that would come in there and they wanted the primary, and they were drinking $50 drinks all night long,
Right.
Because that's how we go to business.
Sure.
We treat our people right.
Sure.
We take them out. Hey, do whatever you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, but I caught the tail end of that story. But it's one of those situations where you ask for I'll take a bourbon on the rocks, and they say, oh, what would you like? And you say, you know what, just bring me something good.
Well, what I heard
And they
them
bring you
say,
the
But they don't
$50
tell you. Yeah, they don't
Right.
tell you that each one of those is $50 a piece.
now what I heard them say. Now I don't know exactly what came out of their mouth, but what I heard them say was, "Bring us the well."
Oh, that's the cheapest
Bring us
stuff
the
they've got.
well. Old fashions, and they brought them out the Weller old fashions.
Oh my God!
So the Wells were $8-10.
yeah,
Yeah.
there were
The Wellers were
$8.95 for a regular old.
Yeah.
And
And there
the well was their bullet.
Okay,
So it was
that's
a
what-
bullet rod.
That's
for
what I heard
the
them
well.
say when they asked. They said, "Hey, bring us the well old fashions," and they brought them Weller old fashions.
Oh, how do you battle that one?
and then it was $50 a thing.
Right. So you
I
say, wait a
almost-
second, I didn't ask for Wellers. I asked
And
for
that's
Well.
why
And then
I
the
was-
manager has to come over and go, you guys been drinking Wellers all night.
But and that's what the problem was, is we didn't get the bill till afterwards, after they drank 7, 8, 9, 10, how many ever they drank. But after they drank so
I'm not
many,
sure. I'm not sure how I'd feel about that.
well, I wanted to tell the manager, but then it was like, well, you must have known because y'all just kept drinking them. It was like, well, no, we didn't.
No.
We ordered Well, you brought Weller.
Right. And he's not going to listen to you anyway
No.
because you had 8 drinks.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
8 margaritas.
I was.
Yeah.
No.
you
were-
should have gone to your car and got a bottle of tequila.
Oh,
Brought it in.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think they do that on purpose? Like,
I
you
do.
And that's crappy.
I do.
Because then you're not in a position to argue it, right?
Well, at this place, it's a cigar bar inside of the restaurant.
Okay.
But in the cigar bar, they have their own menu that actually lists each bourbon and how much it is.
Okay.
And I think that when you're in there,
You're expected to know.
you're their primary target for.
The
They should be
fine
drinking
bourbons.
the fine bourbon with a cigar, because you're not going to drink a
I tell you what.
well bourbon with a freaking
And there's
$20
some
cigar.
merit to that.
right. Because they sell cigars. There was like $20 a cigar. You're buying a $20 cigar. You should have a $50
Right.
glass of bourbon to dip it in.
Well, I
Right.
think that restaurant, because Sean and I went to the one up here in Frisco, and their bourbons are highly overpriced.
Well, like you said, they're
Highly
fif-
overpriced.
Wait,
fif-
which place is this? Are we allowed to say it?
It's a booby bar down there off of
Oh,
Preston.
I got you.
What?
I got
That's
you.
not.
It's a
not-
restaurant.
A restaurant.
Which one is that?
The
one
one,
that-
the one we
where-
went to.
The one you have the meal pass.
$50 drinks at where we don't want.
I'm
Anyway.
I'm surprised that place would even have $50.
Is that the Two Mountains?
Yes.
There you go. Two Mountains.
And their list, because some of the bourbons we have here, we know how much these things cost.
Well, that's what he was saying. It's like that whole bottle. Even when they said
Right.
we're going to bring you Weller or whatever, so it's a $50 bottle. All right, fine. So you're going to charge us $10 a drink. Now we're going to charge you $50 a drink.
Yeah.
You're going to buy the whole bottle with one drink. It's like, no,
Right.
wait
See,
a minute.
that's the thing I struggle with. I mean, nobody wants to be that cheap guy, but when you go to a sporting event and you get
Yeah.
a double and it's $34 for a double,
Right.
and and what you're talking about, Bacardi, or we're talking about, Jack Daniels, right? I mean, which is good, but
Or Evan Williams.
probably Evan Williams. I mean, $35 for a glass this big, right? A tiny glass, and got 2 shots in it.
Perfect example. So you have Johnny Walker. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I didn't really do this. I did, but I didn't really do this.
Okay.
For certain people listening. But I had a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue, which was the
Premier.
Hell King $250 bottle,
Scotch.
bottle of scotch that I took out, and we drank it at one point. Well, I took it home, and there was some left, which I poured into another bottle. Well, I bought a bottle of green and poured it into that bottle and took it back
Right.
out there. Everybody went, this is like the same stuff. So I'm like, okay. I went back and put poured red into it, the cheapest Johnny Walker, into that same bottle and poured it, and everybody went just as crazy. I'm like going, what are you doing?
So yeah, really is
And
there?
then I actually tasted them. I tasted them all together. I had the green, black. I had a green, black, red, and the blue, all at the same time, and poured them all in the shot glasses, mixed them up. And I mean, there was a little bit of difference.
Oh, so you blended it though. It
No,
wasn't
yeah,
like-
different-
in
different glasses.
Different glasses.
Oh, okay.
And
And
then I
people
mixed-
couldn't tell the difference.
And then I mixed up all the glasses, and it was like, was there enough to make it worth $250 compared to $50? No, not at all.
We've had that debate on the bourbon side too. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of $100 bourbons out there, and are they better than the $50 bourbons?
Well, we have some. We paid $100 for that Blood Oath out there, and all of us are just kind of meh.
Yeah,
We have 50 other bourbons that are better than it.
it's interesting. I don't know where they. I mean, it's marketing, right?
It comes to
They
exactly
want
what it
to.
is.
Yeah, they want to be
Marketing
an
and
elite.
bottling.
They want to sell themselves as an elite brand. Blah blah blah. Make a limited amount of it, right? So that you can push the price
Right.
up, right?
Well, a good example right now is even my tequila that I represent. When I got into it, nobody would buy it. It was $9 a bottle.
right.
Anywhere you went, you could buy that stuff for $9 for the whole kit with the tequila and the mixer.
Okay.
$9. Now, $29.95 because I've repped it enough that people want it.
Right.
So now it's become a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
If nobody wanted the diamonds, they'd be worth crap. They'd be worth,
Yep.
steel prices. But
Supply.
they're so supply and demand.
Yeah, supply, demand, and advertising.
All right, that's right. So now that I've advertised the tequila, everybody's asking $30 a bottle for it, where it was $9
Right.
6 months ago.
Oh, in 6 months, that's how much it's gone
Yeah.
up. Wow.
I've increased their sales by over 1,500%.
Very nice.
So that's
Right.
why I get all that stuff and being able to hand it out. And if anybody, the transfer tequila, go try it. It's amazing.
Nice.
It's an Azul tequila. The only other Azul on the market now is $150 a bottle.
Right. Ah, nice.
We should get into tequilas.
I'd be okay with that.
I know there's some really good ones out there, although I'd rather get into like some rums or something.
Well,
I love rum. I was on rum before bourbon.
The problem about like
I
rums
love
and all
rums.
that other stuff out there is like when I went to my doctor, when all my cancer stuff's going on and everything's happening, and I'm like down and I can't do anything for 6 months, and I gained weight because I wasn't able to even move. I wasn't
Right.
able to do anything. But my doctor actually told me, he said, if you're going to drink tequila. That's the most healthy alcohol there is.
Right.
on the planet.
The least harmful.
Well, it doesn't have as much sugar.
Right.
The sugar is so much less, and it's more plant-based because of the where it
Interesting.
comes
I
from.
thought vodka
I thought
was.
vodka.
No.
Yeah, I thought vodka was the least harmful for liquor.
Still sugar. That's where vodka is like pure sugar.
Right.
Where
Interesting.
tequila is not sugar. It's a plant-based. It's a plant-based sugar. It'd be like in the sense of Splenda compared to sugar.
Right. Interesting.
It's kind of
That is interesting. I like tequila, actually. I mean,
I like good tequila. I had
Good
some
tequila.
through college. I had some really, really bad experiences.
and that's the
on
whole
bad
thing
tequila.
about my tequila. The people that don't want to drink it because they're like,
well,
oh,
tequila
when I
has
was,
a stigma
Yep.
about
I-
altering. And I got to be honest, I'm a victim of
It's
that
a different
too.
drunk. It's a different
So-
drunk.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, it's almost like, I want to say, not necessarily me, but I mean, I have, but people have a tendency to be more angry
correct.
On tequila?
on tequila.
It's
That-
a different
and
kind.
that's because and that is exactly what the doctor said. It's a sugar content, like rum and all that. Rum, bourbons, and all these things. They're so sugar based that they make your body because of the sugar happy.
Right.
Tequila is more dry and plant based, so it basically changes a different nerve in your system.
Right.
But it's
It
the
does.
best thing that you can have to
Right.
drink healthy wise.
Right.
Tequila makes your clothes fall off. Isn't that a song?
Yeah.
Oh.
It is.
Yes.
Speaking of clothes falling off, have you heard of the Balenciaga? It's under fire for an ad of kids holding teddy bears in harnesses.
Those are the wrong kind of clothes falling off, though.
Yeah. It
Well,
is.
it's a topic of discussion.
Well, the thing
It
is,
got a lot of press this week.
over the last week, I had never heard of this company
I-
before.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
Maybe just
What do
because
they
I
sell?
But it's a luxury fashion brand, just known
think
for
all
its
the
bold
celebrities.
designs, which often push the boundaries of style. So if you go and you see any of these runways where you have these models going down with their
and
hair
they're
sticking
wearing like a
up
plastic bag
Oh yeah, just
or
wearing
tape
a
over the
garbage
nipples.
pail.
A
and-
black strap,
yeah,
Yes,
on
through the crotch.
maybe.
through the-
Yes,
So, anyways, well, Kim Kardashian was, she also made waves. In the,
she was a spokesperson for them. I
Yeah.
think
Who is?
Kim Kardashian.
Kim
Oh
Kardashian,
God.
the billionaire.
Wow.
She's a billionaire. I know. I reflected on that when I saw her. Was it Skins or Skims? Some bra commercial came on, and there she was advertising this
So-
revolutionary bra.
So
and I was
it's-
like, this woman is a billionaire.
So it's Balenciaga shared its 2022 gift collection, quote unquote, the gift collection. It's a
Okay.
holiday campaign on social media. Started on November 16. It was immediately met with the backlash because the campaign, which was photographed by an award-winning National Geographic photographer, Gabrielle Galimberti, starred children holding bags that looked like teddy bears. And one of Galimberti's best-known collections is called the Toy Stories, which is where this whole thing came from. So that's
Well, the
Toy
teddy bears.
Stories.
Explain what the teddy bears look like.
Correct. Well, you want me to explain it?
Yeah.
Well, let me get down through this, and then because it features it. So it says it features children from all over the world standing in rooms with their toys. So Galimberti told the insider Balenciaga took inspiration from the collections for its holiday spread. Let me go down here. So Galimberti said they wanted him to photograph kids in the same style he did for Toy Stories, but the company wouldn't provide the objects for them to be around for a punk shoot. So Galimberti is primarily a documentary photographer, and for the shoot, they dressed the plush bears in punk gear that looked like bondage.
It's not punk. That's like bondage gear.
Totally bondage.
Well, I'm getting there. So it's plush bears in punk gear that looked like bondage, including leather harnesses and spiked collars.
How sick is that?
Wine glasses were also used near the children in some of the shots. And then the social, listen to how this is spun here. This makes me sick here. Social media users quickly condemned the shoot, accusing Balenciaga of sexualizing children. Conservative influencers
Oh, nice.
were some of the loudest critics of the luxury brand.
Yeah, because it was all Democratic, right?
For instance, Blair White, a conservative influencer with nearly 500,000 Twitter followers, tweeted, "I really boycott, but Balenciaga is canceled for me. I spent thousands of money on them, and now I'm be donating by my items to nearest homeless shelters." All right, whatever. So,
Does Joe Biden donate to this?
So Balenciaga posted the apology on the Instagram, announcing it has removed the campaigns from his platform. "We sincerely apologize, blah, blah, blah. Our plush bear bags should not have been featured with this child in this campaign. But look, there's more. So
there
amid
is
the
paperwork
scandal,
as well.
Correct. So amid the scandal of the gift collection, quote unquote, campaign, a photo was collaboration resurfaced online saying, purse sits, so there's in the ad a purse sits on the table scattered with documents. One of the documents on the table was part of the Supreme Court's 2008 decision, United States versus Williams, which upheld a lower court's ruling that pandering of child pornography is not protected by the First Amendment.
Whoa.
What are the odds of that? I mean, come on, that is
extremely specific for that to be in that shoot with children.
Seriously.
I mean,
well, did you hear who their top designer was? She left the company about 2017. This lady, her posts were her very like satanic with babies and stuff. Was her design?
Dude, there.
I don't understand.
It only
what's happening. Evil. It's evil.
There's a picture of her.
There's really no. That's the explanation.
The
evil.
more, look here. We had talked about Jones. What's his name? Scott Jones.
Dr. Jones.
No,
Who?
Dr. Jones. Alex Jones.
Kalima.
Alex Jones. We talked about Alex Jones and how he was on some sort of private property, and there were a bunch of politicians and super high executives that were all in this cult type experience where they allegedly looked like they were sacrificing people and children and stuff. And look. I'm not saying any of that's true. All I'm saying
that's
is
like that movie Eyes Wide Shut.
But look,
was that movie with
like
Tom Cruise?
It's like the Epstein Island. Look, there is something going on out there. That if it was one little thing that came out and they said, "Hey, well, you would, that's anomaly, and that's bullshit," but you have this repeated exposure. You have this topic that gets reiterated, over and over.
Keeps coming up.
This is absolutely deliberate.
Absolutely.
You sound more like
deliberate.
Jim Jones and then
Yeah, no kidding.
This is sick. It is sick.
It's pervasive. It's pervasive in Hollywood. It's pervasive in the elite circles.
What
it's
fuck?
called evil. It's called evil.
Yes, but my point is that maybe what they're saying is true. It starts to question. You have to, and the fact
what
that
they're saying true is like meaning it's happening all over the place, or what's true?
Well, the left is accepting it, so they're like
trying to
normalize
it. They're trying to normalize
yes.
it.
And to the point where they're even teaching in schools, like, oh, well, what is that the phrase where they're calling like adults that like small children?
Oh, well,
minor
pedophiles.
attracted.
Minor attracted individuals.
You're not
I'm not a pedophile.
A pedophile.
I'm just a, what do they call them?
Minor attracted.
They're trying to normalize it.
They're trying to normalize everything.
No, it's fucked up, and how can you?
Yeah, it's bad.
This is bad. This is bad, and it's in your face.
And
nobody's saying shit about it.
Well, it got a lot of press this week.
Well, but they're not.
It caused a shit stink.
But
big
they're
time.
not really getting to the meat of it.
Right,
I mean,
which is why
there's if who gives a fuck?
Yeah, where's the
about
why
the
on
bear?
this?
And I mean, the bear with the punk outfit and the sexual stuff. Okay, why were those documents there?
Right.
What is that?
It's probably
about?
trying to sneak through like an inside joke for all the other pedos out there.
It's kind of like the.
But why? You got to question that. Why?
Well,
what are you doing?
I think the left, the Democratic Party, and all that kind of stuff are just trying to normalize, like you're saying, normalize everything. But when they bring in all this stuff, they're like just trying to shove it down your throat and tell you have to accept this stuff because the media will not.
It's kind of like butt fucking on Netflix and all the gayisms going on. Look, I don't care if people are gay. I accept them just the way they are. I don't need it in every single Netflix show.
Every single one now.
But you don't need it. You don't need to push on your. You don't need to push on your.
My kids,
4 or 5 year old kid.
That's right.
That they have to figure out. Are you gay right now?
I'm
they're
thinking,
like,
look,
what the hell is gay?
The gay society is 5% of our population,
and it's on 99% of our shows.
It's on 99% of the shows.
I watched the 5. I think it was yesterday's, and I think it was. Can't remember which host said it, but he had a stat, and he said, baby boomers, I think he said 0.6% identified as homosexual or gay. Then the next generation, which is what? Gen Y?
Right.
Was 2.4%.
It's climbing.
Gen X, which is us, was 4%. Gen Z was 5%. The millennials, or whatever the latest one is.
Yeah, 88%.
It jumped to 20.4%.
Yeah.
Identify as gay.
24%?
20.4%. So it went from 4% for Gen Z up to 20.4%, and they're like, because it's the social engineering that's going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
no,
you
so
know what?
They identify as homosexual or
as
just
gay?
Or
you know
queer
what?
or just one of those letters?
LGB alphabet people.
Okay. See, that to me is just a bullshit way to get attention.
I don't know.
They're not even any of those things.
You don't understand what the first of that stands for. LGB. Let's go, Brandon. So,
There you go.
So my thought about
That's right.
my thought about, well, first of all, the phenomenon of being gay. All right. In my opinion, is Mother Nature trying to control population.
Ooh, this
that's
is
what
gonna get good. All
well,
right,
I heard
what do
that
you mean
discussion
there?
as well. They're like, and it was on the radio, and they're like, actually, it may have been on the radio when the guy was talking about it. He's like, it's not sustainable as a society. The more people that are gay means those people are not procreating.
That's right.
Yeah.
right.
It's not natural.
So you got 5% of the population that's not appropriating.
But if that jumps up to,
yeah.
but if all of a sudden they say, well, now it's 20%,
Oh wow! I mean, now we've got
they got 20% of the people not procreating.
Well, I'm fine with that.
What
too.
does that
So
mean?
If you come out with that kind of statistics right there, then you think about all the guys are going with guys. Hopefully, the girls aren't going with the girls. So that gives my personal thing. I can
let's break this down more.
There.
Let's now. Okay, so we have established, we've established that is potential, but now we want to start differentiating between different types of races. How many folks in the, I mean, if you're black, what's the percentage of gay people? If you're white, what's the percentage of gay people? Hispanic, etc. I mean, how do those break down? I'd be interested to find out.
I would be curious too.
Well, it should be equal, right?
Well, I mean,
it should be
in theory. Not only that, but let's take this a little step further. How many of those are gay? But also, that's my train of thought. God damn it!
It's that brain pill you took.
That full gate was really good.
You brought up the greatest point right there, though. So you think about commercials nowadays, and by no means am I racist in any means, but you bring up commercials nowadays, you find any commercials that don't have that have only white people, or if the white people are in the commercials, are the white people on the downside of it. Like there's insurance commercials now that the white people's house is falling apart, and the black people have to come up and save them.
Right.
I mean, and that's just become society now, that the white people cannot ever be on the good side of anything.
Yeah, that's fucked up. The white people are there are all kinds of TikToks out there.
Well, white straight men, we are the worst screwed people in the world.
I don't even know if I want to get in this.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, because
they're trying to normalize, they're trying to right what
they're trying to normalize
wrongs.
hate.
Correct.
Exactly. They're trying to normalize hate towards white folks.
Exactly. That is exactly
and it's wrong. I mean, you got people all over in every college campus that's kind of like, we should feel bad because we're white. Why should I feel bad because I was born white?
Right.
Period. Fuck you.
I don't understand how they're getting away with it. It's so blatant. racism. It's blatant racism. They're
One-
they're saying they start a club and they say no whites allowed.
Right.
Correct.
But if you
Like,
say
that
if you're
is-
white, no blacks allowed. Oh, the world comes apart.
Did I send you the video
Yes.
of the girl with the if you have a white friend?
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
I
just
saw
think
that too.
don't just think you can bring that person around. You need to ask for permission because maybe some people don't want to be around their whiteness and their
Right.
white shenanigans or whatever.
Yeah, the white shenanigans. I don't want to deal with the white shenanigans tonight.
See, I mean that's just teaching hate. That's pure hate.
And that's one thing that I love. One person that I love to watch, like on YouTube, Instagram, and all that, is Brandon Tatum. He was an ex-cop, ex-sheriff. He is a black guy, but he always talks about why is my race doing what they're doing?
Right.
All this.
Wow.
I don't agree with anything that they're doing. It's a bunch of crap.
Well,
Here, listen to this little insert here.
Controversial opinion, but if you have a token white and you're hanging out
Token.
with your
token
friend
white.
group of color, you need to ask permission from everybody in the group to bring your white friend. Like, don't just
Exactly.
bring them. Ask for explicit permission from everyone. Because just because you're comfortable with them doesn't mean that everybody's comfortable with them. I might not be in the mood to deal with white shenanigans that day. That's all I'm saying.
That is
and
the
another
definition
thing, it feeds
of
into
hate-
their ego.
hateful
Like,
racism.
don't let them think they're a good white person. Don't give them that card to use against other people. Please don't do that. Controversial opinion,
good
but
white
if you
person.
have
A good
token
white person.
white
It's what
and you're
repeating.
hanging out
It's repeating.
with your friend group of color,
You're repeating it.
you need to
What's
ask
happening?
permission from everybody.
You fall asleep.
No, I was actually looking for the bottle of Forgate.
Oh, it's over here.
It's gone. It's empty. You're not having
So's
any
my
more.
glass.
No, remember you're saving that for me.
Uh,
Yeah, pick another bottle.
birthday boy, Sean's
He's
a
playing the
birthday
birthday card.
boy.
Yeah, he's playing the birthday
All
card.
right. Well, you know what? Look, here's
Well,
the
just
thing, man.
I'm
It's-
Well,
kidding.
saying
I'm
that too
kidding.
is some of my best friends in the world, are different
have
colors.
fun.
Are black, Spanish, whatever. I mean, I have some of the greatest friends and greatest people that I've known since I was a kid up to nowadays. But then when they sit around and they told me the same thing, they're like, going, why is everything so racial towards you guys?
What if this
Yes.
bitch was white and
What?
she was talking about black people?
Well, she's an Asian chick, right?
What if she were white and she was
She-
talking about black people?
Oh my God! It
She'd
would
be
blow.
crucified.
Oh, it'd be blown up.
Torn
It'd
up.
be shut off of every.
Yep.
If you have a black friend and you want to bring him over, make sure you get permission to bring your black friend.
That would have to go on to
Could you imagine that?
Book.
It's unbelievable.
Seriously, what? I mean,
The only
what
place
has
that
this
could go
come
would
to?
be on Ask Book, where everything can be political.
Yeah, we are headed in a very, very wrong direction when it comes to race relations, and it's a sad thing. And it's done under the guise of correcting rights of the past, of the wrongs of the past. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, and I don't like it. Anyway, but what are we gonna do?
Well,
Anyway.
why do we have to get blamed for it?
Right? No, I understand.
To be a straight white male and we get blamed for.
Well, did you guys see the news conference between the U.S. soccer coach and the state-run Iranian media?
I heard about it. It's good. It's a good,
And
good exchange.
I saw a small part of it. I read some of it, and they were not asking sports questions at all. That's maybe a couple.
Amazing.
And then it went into how can you be from a country that is so racist and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think about Black Lives Matter? And
And this is he's
my.
a black.
no, this was the head coach. He was a white guy. Well, I think there was another one where he was one of the soccer players too, right?
Yeah.
I saw the one that he was I read the article about the head coach, and he didn't bite on any of it. And I don't think either one of them did. And
Yeah, one of the things he said was, I agree sports is something that should bring people together. Fans come from all around the world, and you get to compete on the field as brothers. Sports does have the ability to do that. That's one of the things
Yeah, I
he
thought it
said.
was the captain, the black captain.
well, I think it was
That
both.
was
They
Berhalter.
did it to the soccer coach as well. And I think that the Iranian, he corrected him on how to speak.
Iran.
Iran. is one.
Iranian.
Right.
not
Most
Iran.
people say Iran, and it's Iran.
Anyway, and I think they were looking for poster board material to get their country riled up. To say, look what the USA has just said about your country.
Right.
I think he was trying to bait them to say something negative about Iran.
Right.
Well, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
Dude, Iran's in some trouble right now, man. I mean, they're protesting. This is probably the biggest and most extended protest they've had since it became a theocracy.
I heard that the soccer team was threatened by the government that if you do not behave yourself during the before the game, we will imprison you and kill your family.
Yeah, your family. They threatened their family, and the reason why is because they refused in a prior game. They had refused to sing their national anthem in solidarity with the protesters, and on top of that, they did something else. They
took off the Islamic symbol off the flag.
That was the U.S. Soccer Association,
and they did it. They don't know how or why that happened, but it was quickly replaced. But they basically were supporting the protests. And then, yes, the Iranian government said...
Well, wasn't that the gay flag they were trying to wear on them or something like that? And then they said, well, everybody, we kill those people, so you can't wear that here.
Qatar said that.
Okay.
But if you watch the footage of them when they're doing the national anthem, when they did the Iranian one, the look on the players' faces was of disgust, basically.
Right.
And they were voicing it, singing it, or whatever. But the look on their face was like you could tell they didn't want to do it.
Right. Oh, you mean after they were threatened?
Yeah, after they were threatened.
Yeah. They literally said they were going to imprison or kill or torture their families.
Right.
So the most noteworthy statement that Quiros,
who?
Quei.
Is this the
Quiros?
American?
I believe that's the soccer player. No, it's the Iranian.
Football.
Pardon?
Football.
Yeah. So the most noteworthy statement that Quiros made was a suggestion that he believed that Iran's squad wants qualifications to the knockout stage more than the United States. For us, Iran, in this case, to be in the second round knockout stage will be the first time in 6 World Cups qualifications. So it is motivation that is probably stronger than the United States because they did that in 1994. So for us, it's more special than them. That was I believe that's the black guy that was in the
right. He was trying to say that their motivation is better, stronger motivation, right?
Well, what was that?
Yeah.
Right.
Jeez.
You guys live for that shit, man. Let's see what Sean does and fucks up. Even Austin was out. He was like immediately killing me. How dare you?
Mute.
Anyway, so
so I watched the game. Actually, I watched the second half.
I didn't watch any of it.
I watched the second half. I recorded it because I was on phone calls. And I finally sat down and watched it.
I didn't forget. I don't give a fuck.
And I saw the score. The score was right before halftime, and the guy gets completely nailed in the nuts.
He went immediately to the hospital.
Yeah, he may not even play.
No, he said he
wants to, but he was contused
and
pretty bad.
He scored on that play.
He scored, but he was flying through the air, and the goalie's knee went right into his junk.
Yes, and he scored, and then he laid there on the ground, and then they
played with 10 guys for a couple minutes.
No, they subbed him out. And
he went back in there for a little while.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, because I heard
to halftime. He played to halftime.
Okay, and then they subbed him.
Right.
And then he went to the hospital.
Right.
And because there's a picture of him in the hospital when they won the game, they have a picture of him from the hospital bed with his hand up.
Right.
I want to see it. And I don't really, but I would be curious. What exactly happened to him.
He got racked.
And he has an ice diaper on.
He went flying through the air to kick
big
the
bag
ball.
Of peas.
And the goalie was coming this way, and he just
they collided
right in the goal, right
into
in the
his
net.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw the play, it looked we were offsides. It looked like
it was close.
It was close, man.
It was close.
I was like, wow.
No, it wasn't offsides. It was close.
Yeah. From that angle, it sure.
Well, they have
like
an automatic tool because we scored another goal where it was so close. And they're like, yeah, there's an automatic, and they called them offsides. And it was like, yeah, this is new automatic offsides indicator. And then they called it offsides. So,
like a little laser.
I guess I don't
know. Laser deal.
I don't know.
I don't know. Or do the
That's
players
fine.
wear something maybe?
I don't
in their
think it's a
shoe?
laser.
Something on the sideline. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's-
But I watched the second half, and
No, it's like 15 people. They stand there.
the
and look.
last 10 minutes of the
Mhm.
game, high stress, because Iran was just
hammering,
doing everything they could to get a score,
right?
and
At what
there were
point-
some close ones.
At what point did the USA score?
It was right before the halftime,
Okay.
Like
and
in
then
the
it was basically
38th minute or something.
yeah, it was like defense in the last 10 minutes, and there was one where the ball went through the goalie's feet, but it was going slow, and a guy came up behind it and was going right for the goal, and, it
and
was,
somebody kicked it
someone
out.
kicked it out. Yeah, but I was like,
So what's the current status of
they made the round of 16.
Yeah, we made it to the
Who's
knockout
they?
round. We did.
U.S.
Yeah.
U.S. did, yeah.
what about Iran?
No, they're out.
They got bounced.
So from what I believe, I think I know, is that every game you play, you score X amount of points, not for the game, but you acquire certain points in the tournament, right?
And then goals for as well. I think if you score a bunch of goals, you get more points, right?
It's pool play at first. Everybody's in different pools, like different divisions, and then you have to get a certain amount of points to advance to the knockout round. Right. The
For the
main,
top 2 point getters, right?
Right. So that's how they set the bracket, is whoever makes it out of their pool play.
Right.
And it's hard to make it out of pool play.
They said Group B was one of, if not the toughest ones to get through.
Right. So we made it out of pool play, and now
Yeah.
we're in like
It's elimination now. If you lose, you're out.
wow. And how many teams are in that? 16?
16.
16.
So it looks just like March Madness now.
Yeah. Now it's the real deal.
Yeah. So if you lose, you're out. If you win, you go to the next
And
one.
when do we play? Saturday.
Saturday at 9
Saturday,
a.m.
yeah.
against the Dutch.
We've got to see it. We've got to watch that. Let's get together and watch it. That'd be fun.
do shots.
Yes, of tequila.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Tequila.
With tarantula.
Tarantula.
Tarantula tequila.
Oh my God, that was the
Brought to
fast
you
second
by-
half.
Yeah, well, I played soccer for 10 years as a kid, and I don't watch much on TV, but
10 years?
I did when I was a kid.
Something about World Cup though.
And those last 10 minutes, I was stressed. It was high anxiety
it's exciting.
because it was one time after another. Iran was just going for it, and if we would have tied, we would have made it.
World Cup soccer, even though it can be 0-0 the whole damn game, it's still exciting. It is. World Cup is.
World Cup is.
So, anyway, I'm looking forward to it Saturday morning. I got to remember. I got to put a freaking reminder because I wanted to watch the game, and I forgot.
It's
Record it.
not, you have to remember, it's not soccer.
You have a DVR?
It's football.
Football.
It's foosball. Foosball.
No, not foosball. I'm a pro at.
November 30th, Dudes Like Us, fantastic bourbon, fantastic night, fantastic guest,
Right.
Scott
Yes.
Cash. Thank you so
Glad to
much.
have you,
Enjoyed
man.
it. Oh man, enjoyed it so much.
Good.
I'm having a good time. I'm a little buzzed. I haven't drank this much in at least
We
4
get half
weeks,
a bottle of
three weeks.
But you
Fourgate.
said you would never get to that point
Shut the fuck
again.
up.
Just one more shot.
Yeah, Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Cash. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, happy producer. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you, sir.